So I did my GCSEs in science, and then I thought, okay, this isn't working for me. So I started off with an evening class, and from an evening class, I started sketching and painting and drawing. But I was an art student here, and I thought, okay, fine, I'm gonna go into designs and arts. So eventually, when people give me clothes, I'd cut it up, stitch it, sew it, and I'd be like, this is, you know. So eventually, we just caught on. Every single time I bought stuff, I made my own stuff, and every time I wore it, people were like, "Oh, this looks nice. This looks nice." So eventually, when I did fashion in school, which is one of my majors, which is fashion, interior decor, as well as branding and stuff, but I didn't really finish off with the branding. I was more interested in interior design and fashion, so that's how it came about. And I did makeup as well as part of my degree. So.
Nice. That's amazing. And what's your story with fashion, Margot?
Well, everybody who knows me has known that I've always been the fashionable one out of the group. Since I was young, fashion is my passion. It's something I love, something I enjoy. But when I was younger, when I went to university, it wasn't an option. My dad said no. I couldn't major in fashion design. So I did business administration, but then I found myself every time we had an event, I would always picture something in my head, and then I'll go to the mall expecting to find it. And when I do find it, it's so expensive, and as a college student, I couldn't afford it. So after a while, when I came home, I decided to, use the beautiful fabrics that we do have here, and it's pretty less. It's less than what they have out there. And now the huge designers are using our local Ankara material. So I'm like, why not? Let me just make use of our fabrics and put it together. So I started designing for myself for fun, and then my friends. Every time we go out, we notice that people actually love my stuff. So then my friend Rabi and Ajiamu, they pushed me into this, and I thank them for this. And since then, I've been taking it much more seriously now, and this is where fusion came along.
What's your relationship with fashion, Lena? I mean, I see you normally on a normal day. Like, your style is very unique. The way you dress is very unique. And I know you are a fashion person. So, what's your secret?
I don't even know what to answer that. No, I think I just kind of slipped into fashion um, by doing other things. I mean, I've always been into art. Uh, I also studied art and photography. So I guess that led me into fashion. Like doing, especially doing my photography, I was always looking for models, and then when you have a model, you have to dress them. Then you look for the designers, and yeah, I think that's pretty much
And
how I got into
how
it.
long have you been working with fashion designers or in fashion events? Like, how long have you done that?
Um, well, it's nothing that's been I mean, it hasn't been ongoing. I started with it like years ago. In the early 2000s, I was doing events and such, and I was in Zimbabwe. We used to do shows, and I was working with some people who had a modeling agency, and I was doing my photography then as well. So that's when I was doing it. Then I kind of took a break from it for a while, and got more into my designing, and because I do graphic design, designing and my photography. But
That's good.
it's yeah.
So, what do you guys think about fashion in Gambia? How do you see the fashion industry? I mean, I know we don't have a fashion industry like a really big one, but what's it like being in the fashion section of Gambia?
Fashion in Gambia is should have been. I think it's we have loads of influences from other parts of the world. That's the first thing. It could be advantage or disadvantage to us. We don't actually have a trend. We tend to follow trends. We don't actually have our own style. We tend to follow style. So with the older generation, you know, kudos to them. Well done, because they've actually managed to keep themselves afloat within a particular market. With the younger generation now, we have potential to actually go out there. Recently, I think a few women from Gambia have actually gone to Nigeria to actually showcase their stuff, which is a plus, and it just puts us on the map. But with people like Margot, people like Yao, people like Ziza, people like whoever's doing the show, it's a new platform for us to be seen in a different light. whereby it's clothes that people can wear, it's ours, it's our designs, it's our creativity. We're not following trends from anywhere else. And that's how I see Gambian fashion at the moment. We're upcoming. We're not there yet, but you can see the potential, and it's incredible how much potential we have within fields that we don't even know that these people are designers. Margot has a stable job. I have a stable job, but nobody would actually think that we actually design stuff. So,
I wouldn't know, honestly.
so
I saw you guys' design and I was like, what?
yeah.
Really?
So it's something that we need to give a chance, and it's up to Gambians to, come forth and accept it and actually make it ours. And if we do that, I think that we have a good chance of having our own.
And Margot, you've been away for a while. If I am right, you came home this year.
2011.
You came home last year. Yeah, you came home last year. And since you came back, what's your idea when it comes to fashion in Gambia? What's your opinion on fashion in Gambia?
We're getting there a little. It's, I think, it's getting, I guess people are getting more edgier now because we have, like she says, we have a lot of different influences in our fashion. And yeah, so that's helping us a little, but we still have a long way to go. And I feel like our people need to support us. So that's the number one issue that we're having right now. It's like people would rather wear designers from Nigeria or Ghana or South Africa or America or France and Italy, but when you go to them and say that I'm a designer and I would like you to have my stuff in your store, they snub you. So that's a huge issue that we're having now, and that's just one thing that we need to come across before the fashion industry can start rising here in Ghana.
True, that's something that really needs to change.
Yes.
Okay, you guys have this big event, big project coming up where you guys call it Gambia Fashion Weekend, and it's basically to raise funds for breast cancer. I think it's an amazing cause. So, how did that come about? How did you guys come up with such a concept?
Well, as far as I can remember, it started with an idea of doing a fashion show. And I came together with Eframe and Yaos, and we were talking about the idea. And we said, you know what? There's been so many shows done before. Let's try something different, something bigger, something new, and try and build up a fashion weekend. Basically, everywhere else in the world they have fashion weeks, and like Margaret was saying, we don't really have an industry as such yet. It's coming up, but uh, there's not that many designers, especially that are known of. So we said let's start with a weekend and bring everybody out, everybody that we know of, announce it to get new designers, new upcoming designers. Because I know there's a lot of people out there who are creative, who are doing their thing, but like she said, people might not know about them. So we try to do this event to basically create a platform for those, and at the same time, like you were saying, try and do something with it, not just to do a fashion show to make money out of it, but actually do it for a cause. And we know that breast cancer is a major issue in the Gambia, and cancer in general. But as we are women coming together, said let's focus on breast cancer and see what we can do to raise awareness, basically. Yeah.
Because I was wondering, because to me personally, this is like the first event or the first project I know that is linked to breast cancer, like the cause of breast cancer, raising funds for breast cancer. Because normally you would hear HIV/AIDS, you would hear child education, you would hear, maternity, stuff like that. Why breast cancer?
Um,
Because it's not a very common cause, if you know what I mean. So why did you guys pick breast cancer out of all the others?
We wanted to do the groundwork first and work our way up, as in get in touch with the right people, find out, because we wanted to do something. First of all, it was something to do with medical. It had to be about health. So we went actually and met a few doctors, and we actually found out facts and stuff as to what the hospital's restraints are. And they mentioned that they don't even have a ward at the IBDH for breast cancer. They have restraints. They had a lot of stuff that weren't actually in place for Gambian